Hello, hello. Can you hear me? Yeah? Wonderful. So, hello and thanks for the invitation to DataFest Tbilisi. I'm David von Buseck. I'm co-founder of Figures. We are like a small studio for information design, data visualization, and web application based in Berlin. Yeah, our project ranges like from scientific communication. This is a project we did for Leopoldina. It explains the use of like brain organoids for medical use, like researching brain disease and testing medicaments. Yeah, we are also creating interactive reports and dashboards. Like the trade briefs for International Trade Center, it's like a monthly monitoring of like global trade, but also, for example, annually published Mozilla Internet Health Report, what we did, and we are also creating like more artistic projects with more artistic background. So this project was built for the foundation Art and Nature. It shows like the constellation of different indigenous cultures and their stories behind. So that's the introduction and not the topic. Yeah, but today I want to talk about like the topic of communicating sustainability with data stories. And I want to show you a few projects we did for our clients and like talk about the design process, the storytelling techniques and technologies we used. The first project is called Environment in Eastern Germany. For this I prepared a video which you can just see. I think it's like much easier just to see like how it actually works when you see like the animation inside. The project was like created for the MDR. It's the Central German Broadcasting in cooperation with like Hofer Richter Jacobs is like a film and television production company. It's part of like a documentary series which compares like the environment of East Germany from the past with the present. For this project, we built, as you see, a storytelling like microsite with like parallax animations and different storytelling mechanics. Done. Wow. So, the concept at the beginning. At the beginning of a project, like we sit normally together with our clients and talk about the data like we have and also how to tell like a story. For this, we use the shapes of story from Kurt Vonnegut, which shows like different kind of storytelling forms. So there, for example, you have like this typical man in a hole, like boy meets a girl, from bad to worse, which way is up. So it's kind of like you always see in different films and movies. It's like always you have like this kind of similar shapes which are actually happening. For this project we use like the from bad to worse shape. So this was like the framework, and it's the reason because of the data we had. So we wanted to kind of like show that like everything is connected to each other, and we came up with the idea of like doing this kind of like ride through the cross section of the Earth. So as you can see here, it's like the tour like starts from the clouds down the forest and fields like under the water and then deep below the Earth. Yeah, the first section we show like is the amount of like sulfur dioxide in the air. So yeah, on the right side you can see the number of sulfur dioxide load was like 272 grams per cubic meter, like in Bitterfeld. It's a city in East Germany. And the daily limit actually is almost like half of it. It's like 125 per cubic meter. So what we want to show, like also on the other side, is we want to give like the user access to the actual numbers. So what we did was we used like this API from the Federal Environmental Office to connect like the real-time data, so you can like relate actually to the places you know in Germany. Yeah, the next section was like to show the damage to the forest. Like we combined a stacked bar, which shows like the healthy, like on the left, slightly damaged and heavily damaged forest, like inside the shape of a forest, so you can immediately like relate to it and see how it works. In addition, what we else did, so there is like one mistake I saw already, like 2010 has to get up there. So when you scroll down, what we also did, like we attached the number of years to like the scroll progress. So when you scroll down through the years, the presentation like changed dynamically. So actually you scroll through the years inside of the visualization. Yeah, the next section deals like with the decline of like known bird species. So what we wanted to do was like to keep like the track of the user's attention a bit, so we switched like the normally scroll down direction in this section to a horizontal direction, like to kind of like reveal the different bird types, like just that you kind of like slide through them. And yeah, the last section is like goes this like deep under the ground, and it was like intended like to visualize like the contamination of the earth and groundwater like of the chemical site in Bitterfeld, and we wanted like to make the depth, make it more tangible, like through long scrolling. So actually, it's like nothing you do when you create a website. It's always about like more information in less space, but sometimes it affects you kind of like more and gives you like this feeling, oh wow, that's quite deep. So the next project is the second project is like called biodiversity and management of agricultural landscapes. For this, I also have a video. Yes. Yeah, the project was like built for the Academy of like Science Leopoldina, and it deals like with the decline of like biodiversity in connection like with the steady like development of agriculture. For this project, as you see, we also like use different types like of scrollytelling and build like this microsite. So yeah, you walk through, get like different kind of data, and that's it. Yeah, so the reason like why we built this project was like the statement from Leopoldina, which we get, it was like consist of almost like 80 pages to read, and when they show us like the target group, so the target group is like very diverse, and we ask ourselves like how we could make like the cause of the decline in biodiversity like more comprehensible and just like one presentation, like to just get attention from everyone, that is like easy to understand and you don't have to read through 80 pages. Yeah, in the first section, as you saw already, like we came up with the idea of creating like an agriculture landscape that has like evolved over like the centuries. At the same time, like we wanted to symbolically like underline the decline of biodiversity with like illustrations. So when you just scroll down like slowly, the landscape changes until it's now, and at the same time also like the illustration kind of like slowly disappearing. So that was like the first section. Yeah, in the second section, we like that deals with the inventory of biodiversity. For this, we use like a scatter plot with like sticky side-by-side elements. On the left side, you see you have the visualization. On the right side, you have like text. And when you scroll through, like it shows specific years, like from the beginning and how it is now. This data is coming like from a Malaise trap. It's around like 1 square meter big tent, which collects like biomass. So like one dot you actually see is like one trap in a specific time. So when you see over the years and it's like a logarithmic scale, it actually like just goes down and down and down. And yeah, on the other side, you see like another sticky side-by-side element we used was like a line chart for also for different types of birds in specific areas. So on the left side, for example, what you can see that like in forests, for example, like is the birds amount is like increasing again, which is quite nice. But in comparison, like with agriculture, land it kind of like continues like fall dramatically. And yeah, in the third section, we wanted to show like the causes of the decline of biodiversity. So different kind of like causes can be approached like we're like some camera trip. So you start from the overview, you go, for example, to the one section which calls like it's pesticides, which are actually used are like at the moment more effective than ever before. And yeah, you just go to the specific sections and then you go back again to the overview. What was like important also like for Leopoldina was like not in the end we did not want to leave like the user alone like with this horrible information. It's like, oh my god, like agriculture is horrible. So we provide like individual proposals for solutions like which you can just filter. So yeah, when you see you more, for example, in society, there is like any kind of cards you can access what you actually can do against loss of like biodiversity. So there was like 2 projects we did for our clients. Like besides client projects, we also like deploy projects by ourselves. So this is called Wind City. The project we want to like communicate sustainable energy production and give like a feeling of how much electricity can be produced for a village or a city, for example. So the project is like some page-wise scrolling, and it explains actually how a wind turbine works, but also what we did like in the end, we built like this small tool inside of the website where you can actually see different parameters which you can affect, and then you see actually how much a wind turbine in energy can produce, which is quite interesting because I didn't know that like temperature is like kind of affecting it also a lot. And yeah, it's just like to give like more like a playful feeling of an idea, because like it's always like in Germany we always talk about wind turbines, so actually I had never an idea what a wind turbine like is producing, how much energy. What What we also do now at the moment is like, sustainability reports for different clients. So we work with Sustaincio together. It's like an agency for sustainability. And we offer like our customers like the opportunity to communicate like sustainability reports in a more appealing way, like through storytelling, what you actually saw before. That's it.
Thank you, David. Do you have any questions or comments?
Thank you very much. This is indeed very inspiring, I would say. And I was much excited to see that you don't only create these products, but you also communicate to different audiences, including the politicians. My question would be, was there any result of these consultations with the politicians, or like any action was taken based on all this beautiful information you provided?
I think I like with the biodiversity project, I just know like at the same time there was like some agriculture like congress around, so there was like a lot of attention inside the news which are affecting it. I know like a lot of people using our websites like in communicating, for example, like this biodiversity topic. I was also like once in one congress, and it was funny to see because like one guy just showed slides from our website and was like, okay, that's interesting. Like it's sometimes like hard this kind of like measure things like really to say like, I mean like what we're gonna try, and that's like important for us is like the communication with people, and but of course there would be nice to see if there like if we kind of affect any people with it that say like okay, then more like okay, maybe like attention is also like it would be like enough for me like to just affect people in any kind of way. But it's an interesting question like how actually you see or measure it in the end.